Okay, to get a nice fresh piece of paper and put an eye level on. Now, you can go slowly or you can do phantom lines until you get a feel for how it should go. And we're going to do it in 2-point this time. The little drawing you made from the warm-ups, that was 1-point perspective. We've got our vanishing points set up. This is our left vanishing point. This is our right vanishing point. And we need a little help with this box. We want to get the right angles to make sure that the two distant sides are the right size. So if we want to do a 45-degree perspective, if you can, fold your paper in half, fold your dots in half, so that you find halfway between the two vanishing points. You can always eyeball it and put a line. Now that's going to be the front edge of our chair. And put it well below eye level so that we can fit the whole chair below eye level. Now the first thing we need to do is to draw the two receding sides. So put a dot at the bottom of your line, your corner of the chair, front corner, and bring it to one of the vanishing points. So I'm going to bring it to the right one. And remember, you can do phantom lines until you're comfortable. Get everything out of your way so you're moving your whole arm. And now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And if I'm at a true 45-degree angle, these two angles should look somewhat the same. And if they're not on your paper, don't worry about it. This is part of discovery. For next time, you'll do it differently. Now we've got to choose a height for our seat of our chair. That could be anywhere along that line, but remember that we want to be able to fit the back of the chair under eye level too. And if we choose a 1.5 feet for the seat height and 3 feet for the back height, then with this line, we have to make that happen between here and here so that it's below our eye level. So let's just look for something that's halfway between a line you arbitrarily choose at the top, that's below your eye level, and one at the bottom, the way that you made at the bottom. Now we're going to make a little box for that seat. And what we're expecting is that it's going to look something like this. That this part is going to look bigger than those two distant parts. We're expecting something like that. So here we go. We're going to take this over. Again, you can do phantom lines or you can draw. Okay, so now we have this line, this line, this line, and this line. We need these two to show us how wide the chair is going to be. Now, given the seat, how high the seat is, we could make it, I'm going to choose here, maybe a little more. So you don't know until you try it. So don't be afraid to change your mind. If you do it light enough, it's never a problem. Now that gives me 2 more points. I've got a point on the floor and point up higher for the top of the seat. So this line represents the top of the seat of the chair, and this is where the chair is sitting on the floor. So now I have to choose at the back here. This is truly 45 degrees. I could just come across from here and choose. So why not try that? I'm going to try that. Now that has nothing to do with any of our perspective lines. It's just the idea that if this is 45-degree perspective, I don't think mine really is, but If it is, this will give me the same depth. The depth and the width will be close to the same. But I like it, so I'm going to keep it. If you don't like it, change it before you darken it. Okay, so now we have this line and we have this line. And now we need the top. Well, lucky for us, this is all decided now. Once we have these points and this point, this point and this point and this point, the top is decided. All we have to do now is take it to our vanishing points. There's one side, and then we'll take it to the other. Now you'll have to be careful. We've got a lot of lines going on now, so you have to see now where the true corner is. I've got this vertical line from the front, and I could easily choose it, but it's separate and apart from what I'm doing at the back of the box. That's for the front. This is for the back. So I've chosen a corner, but just to be sure, I need to draw these hidden lines. I need to make sure that that corner that I've got there, because I'm freehand, is the right one. So we take these back. And really keep those light. So and it's pretty close. So you just kind of tickle it into shape. Okay, so now I can firm up my lines a little bit. Grab another scrap of paper, and at the back, see, we can't judge the back now from the front because we're back here. So I'm taking the top of my paper, lining it up with the top of the seat of my chair at the back, and making a dot where it touches the floor. And I'm going to double that. Wow, just made it before the eye level. So that now, if this is 1.5 feet or 18 inches, 17 inches is standard for a seat height, but 18 is just easier to think about. And this makes this now 3 feet. For the height of the back of our chair. What we're looking for at the back is thickness to the back and height to the back. So this is what we're anticipating, is a thickness there and a thickness across the seat and over at the side and a top to the back. So the thickness we can choose something that looks like it's going to give you enough depth to your seat that someone could sit there, and bring that up. Remember, with these lines, sometimes it's better to bring them up too far because you have cross corners, which is always a benefit. Makes your corners look more correct, and it will be there when you cross over a perspective line. A lot of problems happen because the line just isn't long enough to meet the line you've made for it, the perspective line, so you get lost. Okay, so now it's crossing over at the back here, so that's giving me another vertical. And I've got this corner, so that's a vertical. So this is the depth here. this is the depth over here. And remember, this was the 3 feet. We took the 1.5 feet from the bottom, moved it up to the top. Now I need this right vanishing point to give me the right angle. So these 2 vanishing points gave me all the right angles for all of my parts. We had an easier time with our ellipses because all we had to remember was that they are fuller at the half of the ellipse that's closer to us and more shallow on the second half that's further away. Now this is so close to the eye level that we're not going to see the top of the chair. So we don't see that. It's like this. So that's fine. Don't worry about it. Yours may be fine. You may see the top. Now this is interesting too. This is equal to this, but because this side is slightly turned away from us, it appears more shallow. And so does this. We were expecting this to look smaller than that because it's further away, but it's more turned toward us because of the angle of the chair. Now don't worry if you're not catching all of these ideas. If this is brand new to you, none of this makes any sense yet. And we've got 13 other weeks to work on this. So just take what you can and know that you'll have the rest in no time. Okay, so there's our chair. And so now all we have to do is what we did with the others, just put on some detail. Once you have a lot of these lines in, you can estimate parts. So I don't even have to go all the way to my vanishing point. I just echo the next line down because I know between here and here they're going to gradually get more angled. So I'm just estimating from there to there. If we want some arms, maybe something slender, because this is rather a narrow seat, we can put some arms on. They don't have to start at the end of the cushion either. They can start back a bit. So all I have to do is choose where I want my arm to start and bring this along. Bring this up. Now, this line looks convenient. I like that line, so I'm going to use it. And that'll give me the arm to the back of the chair. Maybe just a slender piece. And now I know where this is over here. I have to transfer the top now. So I'll transfer it using the left vanishing point. And then you use the right vanishing point just to bring it back. Now it's going to rest on the back, so make sure you put how it connects to the back. And now there's a lot that you can do with your cushion. You can make it look a little rounded, a little softer. You can puff it up so it doesn't look so flat and hard. You can plump this up. This is probably divided into 2 sections. It's a little difficult to view it as a cushion when you can't see the top, but we'll make do. And then there's probably a little bit of a metal construction underneath here, a support. Now the 4 legs, you just put a line on either side of the center line, and the bottom line is already in perspective for you. They're going to the left vanishing point and the right vanishing point. Here, it's a little different. You're going down, using that, but you're also thinking about that vanishing point, and you go this way, because each of these little corners makes a box. So our little box here is like that. I'll exaggerate it so you can see it. And this one, the box is like this. So I've got a corner here and a corner here. And for a shadow, we can just hatch the square underneath the chair. We don't see the furthest leg.